very pleased to say that the first partners that the Drinks Trust is working with is a business called Sleepstation. And joining me is Neil Gardner, who's the commercial director. Hello, Neil. You all right?
Hi, Richard.
Hi.
I'm good,
and
thank you.
also Dr. Neil Stanley, who's the one of the sleep experts, the resident sleep expert for Sleepstation as well. So welcome, Dr. Neil.
Thank you very much.
Great. Okay, brilliant. Well, I think the best thing to do actually is perhaps start off with who is or what is Sleepstation and how did it come about? I mean, it kind of sounds obvious, but perhaps if you can just say where Sleepstation idea came from.
Our origins go back to 2010. So we originally we were spun out of a collaboration between the Newcastle upon Tyne Hospitals Trust, Academic Health Science Networks, and Incubator Programme for Innovation, supported by the Nominate Trust, and a software development company based in the northeast of England that focused on building persuasive technologies for different companies and local and national government across the world. And the idea was brought about by necessity within an ability to meet demand within the NHS and increasing waiting lists. And a very high level of did not attends and probably a need to address the spending that was attributed to that, to see if you could take the face-to-face therapy intervention that was the recommended gold standard approach and replace that with a digital version of the same therapy using the same underlying methodologies, the same clinical governance and oversight, but delivered to people at the comfort of their own home, removing the need to go and meet people face to face, using technology to help more people at the same time and complement the personal touch. So Sleepstation has gone on over the past few years to work in different arrangements with the NHS, different arrangements with corporate organisations, with charities, and the aim is to help people sleep better. It isn't just reactive, but it's proactive. It can go out there with working with organisations that are forward thinking, like the Drinks Trust, looking for them to help find the people that they provide support to and offer a level of support that up until now people probably weren't aware existed.
Can you perhaps explain the link up you got with the Drinks Trust and how that's going to work and who can apply for the support that you're looking to give?
Yeah, so the Drinks Trust are one of those great organisations that obviously support people within a certain sector, providing support where it's needed and alleviating need. And part of that, we're very proud to be able to offer our services for the people within the drinks industry that have got a problem with sleep. Or sometimes it's not even just a problem with sleep, it's a perception of a problem where they can speak to an authority, get advice from the right person, and rest their mind or put themselves on the right track to get better. So what we've done, which is great news for people in the drinks industry, is through the Drinks Trust, it is completely free of charge for people that apply. So anyone that falls under the remit of the Drinks Trust for their support can have access to the service, and that is done on a basis where you come through online and you register for the service. You go through an initial screening and an assessment process, and then if it's deemed to be appropriate for you, then that support is made available at no cost to the individual. It's covered through the benevolent kind of spending that takes place with the Drinks Trust with our service, as well as it does with a lot of other services.
In terms of how you sign up, I mean, what kind of things are you asking people when they're looking to register?
So it's a digital health platform. So ultimately, one of the key things is that we ask questions that are relevant to being able to provide the service and provide the support and get the background and understanding to give that person the specific individual support they need. That's all done in a information security protocols that mean that, for example, we've been holding NHS patient data for the last 8 years. NHS arrangements, we're working with international financial institutions and people like that. Mm-hmm. So the individual will come through. It's an easy process to sign up. You basically follow the link that you'll be provided and where you find out about it. To a landing page, which the Drinks Trust have created along with ourselves. Register on there using your email address. It's fully confidential, so all the information that you share with us, it's only shared with us. It's for the purposes of providing you with that healthcare service. And what you go into, the questions that you're asked, the screening questions and the clinically validated kind of questionnaires that you go through, the reason that they are there, it's all backed by science. It's all backed by the kind of multitude of studies and peer-reviewed publications, and decades of science behind the service that's offered. It's the same service that you would get if you were prescribed by your doctor to go and see a sleep specialist face-to-face. The only difference is it's not face-to-face. What we seek to do is, instead of kind of dropping people in at one part of the process and they pop out of the other end, and on average X number of people get better, we take the time during a 7-day period to ask questions to that person, let them fill in sleep diaries. They can do that on their tablet, their mobile phone, their laptop. It's so easy to use. 90% of the people that use it on their mobile phone. It's designed to be easy to use and intuitive. The questions that we ask are to get a grounding of where that individual is, looking at their current habits, nutrition, caffeine intake, exercise, and kind of daily activity, so that we are better informed the team is better informed to make the judgment to offer the range of options to help them through that behavior change process, to the point where they come out where tens of thousands of people have come out before, with much improved sleep and a better quality of life as a result.
Can I turn to you, Dr. Neil Stanley? Sorry, the two Neils. I mean, obviously, you say you're a sleep expert. So in terms of somebody thinking about using this service, I mean, what would you deem someone to sort of like be aware that they may have an issue with their sleep? What would be a typical issues with sleep?
I mean, I think one of the problems is that people, have a very strong idea of what insomnia is. Insomnia is a difficulty falling asleep, but it's not. You can have problems falling asleep or staying asleep or waking up early in the morning and not being able to go back to sleep, or even non-refreshing sleep. You sleep through the night, but you wake up and you don't feel refreshed. Yeah. And so Sleepstation is designed for people with a problem with their sleep. And that may be perception. It may be you sleep perfectly well, you just don't feel you sleep perfectly well. And it may be that you do have a sleep problem. It may be that you have a sleep disorder that is causing a sleep problem, or you have a mental health issue like anxiety or stress that is causing a sleep problem. But the thing with Sleepstation is, because it's non-pharmacological, it's pretty safe for anybody to do. So you could be depressed or anxious, and because poor sleep is part of those, improving your sleep will improve those other conditions. So there are very, very few barriers to entry onto Sleepstation. Only, severe mental health problems would preclude you from doing it. And so, as Neil mentioned earlier about going through those questionnaires, we're making sure you're suitable for it. But the idea is, basically, if you think you've got a problem with your sleep and it's causing you to acknowledge that and to feel sleepy and not at your best during the day, then there is an issue that can be fixed.
And have you noticed, I mean, we've read in the press, but also I think anecdotally as well, people having particular issues with their sleep during this crisis. People talking about having very intense dreams, and there's been quite a lot of people sharing on social media. Is that something that you're seeing as well, I guess?
Yeah, absolutely. We, Sleepstation did a national survey back in May with the Sleep Council and the Sleep Charity. And we actually looked at how COVID-19 was affecting people's sleep. And, about 35% of people are sleeping significantly worse than they did in the past. One, because of the lack of routine. The other reason, of course, is because of anxiety, stress, or whatever. But equally so, some people are sleeping better than they've ever done before, right, because they don't have that old style routine of getting up at the crack of dawn to go to work, or getting home late, after doing a shift in a pub sort of thing. So people are actually sleeping more naturally. So, some people are suffering from it. Other people are actually taking an opportunity perhaps to develop good sleep habits.
Okay. So if you sign up then, when you're terms of actually measuring someone's sleep, how do you actually do that?
Well, because this is a cognitive behavioural treatment, we're not needing to have objective data. We don't need to measure it using, a sleep track or anything like that, because it's all down to the person's perception. So, as Neil mentioned, we're using sleep diaries, which are an accurate recording of it, and we're just looking at the change over the period of the program. And as long as somebody comes out the end of the program reporting that their sleep has improved to them, then that's what matters, because then, you know, somebody famously once said, if you want to get a patient better, treat what they complain of. So it's not a number. If they come back and say, I'm sleeping better than I ever did, that's it. That's the end point. That's all that's all that matters. So it's about diary data, and it's about, you know, asking people questions and the support throughout the process of the program.
Okay. And how long is the program for? I mean, is there sort of a set pace for it?
Well, cognitive behavioral therapy is usually done over a period of between 6 and 8 weeks. So because you're changing a habit, you're changing your belief. So it's not an instant magic solution. And there are parts that need a bit of willpower and a bit of effort. Something like sleep restriction, where we modify your sleep timing in order to improve your sleep. And these take a period of time to do. So it's a period of about 6 to 8 weeks. And, you know, so you can't rush it, or we would hope you didn't rush it, but you work it at your own pace. If your sleep starts to improve, then of course you can do it quicker. But at all times, and the thing that makes Sleepstation unique is that we have our sleep coaches, humans at the end of an email, where you can ask questions, you can get help and support, you can, you know, if you're finding it tough, we're there to help you get through the process. There are other digital programs that, you know, are just you know, you have to do it yourself. There's no interaction with a sleep coach, but we've got you know, a group of well-trained sleep coaches who can interact with you how often you need, with any question that you have about the process, to get you through this process and to give you that willpower that you may perhaps be lacking.
So yeah, you get that personal interaction as well then.
Yeah, absolutely. As I say, you know, part of my job is to, you know, help the sleep coaches if there is a, you know, an obscure a person, you know, with an obscure problem, they write to me, and I say, well, you know, it could be this, or it might be that, or ask them this question, and we need to find out more. So everybody is dealt with as an individual. It's not a one-size-fits-all package where you go, well, that's not appropriate to me, why are you asking me to do it? We will tailor it to you, whilst keeping the underlying science of what we're trying to do pure. We will tailor the message to you to help you get a good night's sleep, which is what we're all about.
I mean, and in the same way that, you know, we're all recommended to have regular blood pressure checks and have regular health checks. I mean, would you say that actually, even if you don't think you have a necessary sleep problem, it's worth doing the assessment to actually assess whether or not you are?
Yeah, I think this is it. We go through life at less than optimal. If you ask people, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, how sleepy they are and how good they feel during the day, you get very few 10s, you get no 9s, you get some 8s, but most people are 6s and 7s.
Yeah.
And sleep is, oh yeah, that's good enough, I'll struggle through. And yet it's so important for good physical, mental and emotional health. Struggling through seems to be a strange thing to do. So I think the vast majority of people could improve their sleep if they see it as important. You know, we eat healthily, we exercise. Sleep is as, if not more important than those two activities.
Great. Well, thank you much indeed. Just before we finish, I mean, are there any final thoughts, or just in terms of how you actually go about signing up if you're interested? Perhaps the first, Neil.
Yeah, I would hope that the work that we've done with the Drinks Trust, obviously, if people are aware of what the Drinks Trust do, they know that they're only going to partner with services that are going to be of benefit to the people they support. Hopefully, it is clear, kind of, you know, what you can expect, and I think having the opportunity to do something like this should make it even more so. One of the things I would definitely say is, whilst we're a digital service, digital first, that's the whole way, you know, methodology behind the 10 years of history that we've got. We are people at the end of the day, and if you have any questions, do not be shy. If you want to pick the phone up and ask someone because something's not clear, before you go into that kind of making a commitment to seeing, you know, registering or anything like that, any kind of very specific questions or general queries, there's always someone that's available to have a chat. So feel free.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time. It's been really good.
Thank you.